Now let's visit some additional initial configuration elements you're most likely going to want. In fact, there's two of them. I want to show you how to synchronize time across your devices with the network time protocol. And I want to go ahead and show you how you would configure simple network management protocol on your Juniper devices. Two super important management-like services that you'll most likely want to configure. And what's the big deal about accurate time anyways in the network? Well, one of the things that we absolutely crave it for is to get value from the timestamps in log messages. Think about it from a security perspective. You want to know desperately exactly when some type of security mishap or breach might have occurred in your network. In fact, one of the common things that attackers will do is they'll attack your time. One of the reasons might be because you have policies that are based on time in your environment, or they just want to make it seem like nothing happened recently from a security breach perspective. So accurate time is so valuable for, if we look at it just for one reason, it'd be security. Now, we know with network time protocol that something that is super reliable, like an atomic clock for giving us the time, has a stratum of 1. The larger the stratum number, this is like a measure of the reliability of the time that you're using, the larger the number, the less reliable time is. My wife is consistently late for things. She would be like a stratum 10. Now, a Juniper device cannot be your time source. Juniper devices don't have clocks that are reliable enough to be the source of time. But Juniper devices can be configured to consume their time from the network time protocol system. They can be configured as clients. They can also be configured as servers. But wait a minute, we just said they can't be the reliable source of time. They can't be Stratum 1 devices. No, but they could get their time from one of those devices. Let's say it's an atomic clock. And you don't have to go to a Stratum 1 device, by the way, but sure would be nice. So the Juniper device gets its time and then starts serving that time measurement as a server out to the rest of the world. It can be configured in symmetric mode. This is where it can be a server or a client at the same time. We can authenticate those time messages, and time announcements can also be broadcast out onto segments. So when it comes to network time protocol, the Juniper device can pretty much do it all as far as the various NTP functions. The configuration that you're responsible for with NTP is extremely simple. Watch this. We'll go into edit mode and we'll say edit system NTP. Doing a show at this portion of the hierarchy shows that nothing is set up for NTP by default. There's 3 commands I want you to know. 2 of them are configuration commands, and 1 of them would be your show command for verification. So the configuration commands are as follows. Set, and I'll do a question mark here. Notice there's set boot server. This would be a server to query during the boot sequence. So while the machine is booting, it can get accurate time. And then the set server option. The set server option is what you're going to do to set a particular synchronizing source. So we're configuring this machine as a client when we say set server. I know, it's confusing, but that's how it works. When you say set server, you're saying, what is the address of the atomic clock out there in the universe that I am going to get the accurate time for? So very simple. Set boot server, get the time during boot, and then set server, get the time during the subsequent running of the Juniper device. How you would verify your NTP would be to do a run show NTP associations. This is the command that you would utilize to see who you've synchronized with. Remember, the run here is just because I am in the configuration mode. So I need the run command here to enact this particular show command, because technically I'm not in the right mode to issue a show command. So show NTP associations is one you'll want to know. And as I alluded to at the introduction, something else that you're probably going to be interested in is the configuration of Simple Network Management Protocol. Remember what SNMP is all about. We have a Juniper device. This particular Juniper device wants to provide health information to a network management station, or NMS. You see, the Juniper router, or whatever Juniper device that you're dealing with, has on it what's called an agent. This is software that will allow the transfer of Simple Network Management Protocol data to the network management system that is monitoring this particular device. By default, we're in a read-only type situation here, by the way, so that the network management station can't be a configuration source through SNMP for this particular Juniper device. The agent is actually going into what's called a management information base, or MIB. This is a nice organized hierarchy of variables that can give health information about the particular device. Maybe you want to see interface statistics. Maybe you want the temperature inside the chassis. All this great stuff that you could utilize to monitor this entity. Now, Simple Network Management Protocol is passively managed or can be a bit proactive. We have what are called traps that can be sent by the Juniper device to alert the network management station of something, so that the network management station doesn't have to just passively poll the device periodically for information, but can be alerted maybe of some threshold that is called, and that is what we use a trap for. Now, there's currently 3 versions that you have of Simple Network Management Protocol. There's a version 1. In fact, it's tough to find that anywhere anymore. There's 2C, and then there is 3. 3 finally adds security. In fact, the old joke about Simple Network Management Protocol is that it stands for security, not my problem. Because version 1 had no passwording, version 2 used a clear text community string, and the problem there is, of course, it's clear text, so it's almost worthless. And then finally, version 3 brings sophisticated authentication and integrity checking and authorization. So sure enough, the Juniper device supports all possible versions of Simple Network Management Protocol, but we would certainly target version 3 in a production environment. So what might a configuration look like? Well, here's some examples. Notice we are in the SNMP portion of the configuration hierarchy, and we do a set contact command to set a particular name that should be contacted for this device, set location. We can set a client list indicating those particular devices that are allowed to communicate with this device with Simple Network Management Protocol. If you're doing version 2 of SNMP, you would definitely want to make sure you restrict who can access this information. We set up a community. We set up traps for the chassis in this example. We set the trap group target so that we send the particular traps to a specific device. I really doubt you would have to get into the configuration of Simple Network Management Protocol in your exam environment, but I just did want to give you a look at some of this particular config. Obviously, the show command is going to be important here to verify our configuration, and there are variations of the show SNMP command that we can utilize in operational mode to verify particulars of our configuration as well. So in this nugget, we took a look at some additional initial configuration elements. Most importantly, it was network time protocol and Simple Network Management Protocol. I hope you enjoyed the review of how those management protocols work. I hope you enjoyed the look at configuration, and I sure hope you found this entire nugget informative. And finally, I'd like to thank you for viewing.